The world does not bow to the average. It does not reward the comfortable. It does not crown the one who simply waits for permission. It bends only for the individual who dares to demand more from himself. Understand this. History has never remembered those who played it safe, who lived inside the walls of mediocrity, who clung to excuses like a shield. It remembers the ones who stepped forward when the path was uncertain, who faced resistance and kept walking, who looked at the limits of their own strength and said, "I will push further still." Think of Thomas Edison, burning through 10,000 failed attempts to make the light bulb. The world called him a fool, yet he demanded more from himself when others would have surrendered. Think of Abraham Lincoln, a man broken by loss after loss, defeated in business, crushed in politics, yet he demanded more, climbing again until destiny placed the weight of a nation upon his shoulders. Think of Henry Ford, mocked for chasing the dream of putting an engine in every household, laughed at for believing the common man deserved progress. Yet he demanded more and changed the very rhythm of the world. This is not about talent. This is not about luck. This is about the relentless decision to raise your own standard and never again accept less than the fullness of your potential. Every day, you stand at a silent crossroads. One path is ease, the soft pillow of excuses, the shallow comfort distraction, the quiet death of your own promise. The other path is demand, the iron road of discipline, the fire of accountability, the storm that forges your spirit into steel. The choice is yours, but so are the consequences. When you refuse to demand more from yourself, life does not remain neutral. It rots. Your dreams decay. Your power withers. The world takes from you what you refuse to claim. But when you demand more, when you tighten your grip, when you decide that excuses are beneath you, the universe begins to move. Opportunities appear. Energy surges. People who once doubted you feel the gravity of your conviction. This is not some mystical force. This is the law of reality. The man who demands more from himself becomes more. The mind that stretches refuses to return to smallness. The soul that burns with purpose cannot be contained by mediocrity. Demand more courage when fear rises. Demand more clarity when confusion tempts you. Demand more effort when fatigue whispers in your ear. Demand more hunger when comfort tries to lull you back to sleep. The world bows to the one who refuses to lower his standards. And so I ask you, what have you been tolerating in your life that is beneath your true self? Where have you allowed mediocrity to plant its roots? Where have you accepted excuses instead of results? Do not lie to yourself. Do not protect your weakness with soft words. Face it, expose it, and then demand more. Because the truth is, you are capable of far more than you are currently living. The capacity of your spirit is infinite, but it will never be revealed until you command it to rise. Every breakthrough you seek, every dream you whisper about in the silence of night, every future you crave, it is waiting for you, but it will not come to the man who begs. It comes only to the man who demands. Demand more discipline. Demand more vision. Demand more sacrifice. Demand more courage. Demand more resilience. For it is only by demanding more from yourself that you will ever discover the self that was hidden within you all along. You were not born to drift. You were not born to blend into the gray fog of mediocrity, swallowed by the noise of those who settle. You were born to rise, to cut through, to create such force of will that the world itself cannot ignore you. But rising requires a price. And that price is simple. Demand. Look around you, and you will see millions living far below what they are capable of. They speak of dreams, yet their actions betray them. They pray for results but starve their effort. They hope for success while feeding their excuses. Do not be like them. Do not betray yourself. Andrew Carnegie, who built an empire of steel, once said that he owed his fortune to nothing more than his ability to demand higher performance from himself and others. He was not the smartest. He was not the luckiest. But he was relentless in the standard he set. He believed mediocrity was poison, and he refused to let it contaminate his destiny. The same spirit lives in you, waiting for your command. Your mind is a battlefield where two armies fight every day. One whispers comfort. Rest, wait, hold back. You've done enough. The other roars with fire. Move, rise, push, become. And the side that wins is the side you feed. Feed your demand. Starve your excuses. Because every moment you allow yourself to fall into comfort, you are digging a grave for your potential. And the tragedy of life is not death itself, but dying while still alive, walking through your days with no fire, no fight, no hunger, your spirit caged by weakness you could have conquered. Walt Disney once said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." But courage is not some fleeting emotion. Courage is a demand. It is the act of standing in front of fear and saying, "I will not bow." So demand more from your courage. Demand more from your faith in yourself. When the storm comes, and it will, do not pray for an easier path. Pray for stronger legs. Demand from yourself the endurance to keep walking, even when your bones ache and your heart trembles. The greatest men and women of history were not spared hardship. They were tested. They were broken. They were pushed to the very edge of despair. And it was in those crucibles that they demanded more. And by demanding more, they discovered that the human spirit has no bottom. Abraham Lincoln once confessed that he was the most miserable man alive during his darkest days. Yet that misery did not destroy him, because he demanded that even in despair he would rise, he would serve, he would continue. And because of that, he became the man who preserved a nation. Understand this truth. You will be tested. Life will bend you, bruise you, drag you through fire. But you're not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you demand from yourself when everything in you screams to stop. Do not lower your standard to match your pain. Raise your pain to match your standard. Every vision requires sacrifice. Every destiny requires discipline. Every great story requires a hero who refuses to quit when the world begs him to. And in your story, that hero must be you. There is power within you that you have not even touched yet. Depths of creativity, strength, discipline, courage, resilience, hidden not because they do not exist, but because you have not demanded their release. When you raise your voice and declare, "I will not settle, I will not accept less than the greatness within me," something shifts. The shackles break. The energy awakens. The doors that were locked begin to open, because the world responds to the man who responds to himself. The question is not whether you can achieve. You can. The question is not whether you deserve success. You do. The question is this: will you demand it from yourself? Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for approval. Do not wait for some perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create by demanding it now. So rise. Burn away your excuses. Set fire to your fears. Refuse the chains of mediocrity and command your destiny with the full force of your will. You must demand more from yourself, because everything you dream of, everything you were born to be, waits on the other side of that demand. Every generation produces two kinds of people: those who drift and those who demand, those who wait for life to hand them something, and those who seize it with both hands, refusing to let go. The drifters leave no mark. Their names fade like dust on the wind. But those who demand more from themselves carve their names into the very stone of history. Consider this. The Wright brothers had no fortune, no powerful connections, just a vision, man in flight. For centuries, scholars said it was impossible. Yet they demanded more from themselves, refusing to let their lack of resources, their failures, their critics decide their destiny. And because of that demand, the world took to the skies. What vision is waiting inside you? What invention? What business? What art? What movement? What transformation of your life is asking you to rise higher? Do not lie to yourself by saying you need more time, more money, more knowledge. What you need is more demand. Demand brings the resources. Demand sharpens the mind. Demand pulls the strength out of your bones and the clarity out of your spirit. Henry Ford once faced bankruptcy, betrayal, and the scorn of the world when his early attempts at manufacturing failed. But he demanded more from himself, from his vision, from his team. And through that relentless standard, he created not only an empire, but a revolution in how the world works. Ford did not succeed because he was given power. He succeeded because he demanded power from within. And so must you. Demand excellence in your work, even when no one is watching. Demand strength in your body. even when it aches. Demand growth in your mind, even when it resists. Demand courage in your soul, even when fear surrounds you. This is a law of growth. What you demand, you eventually become. If you demand little, you remain little. If you demand much, you rise to meet it. But demand is not a shout into the air. It is not mere words. It is action. Action taken with consistency, conviction, and sacrifice. Action repeated until the world bends to your will. Success is not an accident. Fortune is not a gift. Both are wages paid only to those who demand them with relentless labor. And yet, in demanding more, you will not only build wealth or achievement, you will build yourself. You will look in a mirror one day and recognize the man you have become, a man forged by his own refusal to settle, a man unshaken by storms, a man who has turned the soil of hardship into the harvest of greatness. This is the destiny of those who demand. The day will come when your strength falters, when your time is almost spent, when your body can no longer carry you forward. And in that final hour, you will not measure your life by what others gave you. You will measure it by what you demanded of yourself. Did you stretch your mind to its fullest? Did you test your courage against the weight of fear? Did you turn your pain into purpose, your weakness into willpower, your days into legacy? Or did you drift quietly, never daring to demand more? The choice is yours, and it always has been. So demand more now. Demand more while you can. Demand more so that when the curtain falls, you will leave behind not just a name, but a flame that others can follow. The world does not need another echo of mediocrity. The world needs your roar, your vision, your fight, your demand. Stand up, clench your fists, set your jaw, look at your life, and declare with unshakable fire, I will not settle. I will not shrink. I will not betray the greatness within me. I will demand more, more for my mind, more for my heart, more for my soul, until my life burns with the fullness of its purpose. Because in the end, it is not the man who is given the most who triumphs. It is the man who demanded the most of himself and refused to accept anything less.